back. Hey, everybody, it's Darren Carter, the party starter, with the one and only Mr. John Diresta.
Thank you.
How are you, pal?
I'm doing good.
All right, man. We're doing it, dude. You're getting your kidney replaced.
I'm getting my new kidney on 3/27, and tomorrow I get a new tooth.
Whoa. Show us. Right there. I know. Dude, I like that I think I would be self-conscious if I had a tooth out, but you're like, screw it. And by the way, it's kind of a manly thing, and it's kind of trending right now.
I just sent the photo to someone, and they said it's a good look.
Right.
Because I look like the captain of the USA hockey team.
Oh, you know what?
Right? There we go. USA.
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 You could just be, you know what I mean? Yeah, right? Like that. Yeah, it's like, and it's kind of.
We did it.
Right, we did it. We won. And so you...
No, I am self-conscious about it. However, you were scheduled to come over. I didn't want to cancel. And it's better than cancer, and I found the tooth. Because, imagine if I didn't find it.
Yeah, how did you find
it?
Because you know how you drive around and all your like marbles roll around in the truck and the nails and the tools?
The inside of my car is disgusting.
What if there's just different teeth like just rolling around in your truck?
No, I get that with the earbuds a lot because one of my earbud falls out in a workshop. Now it's nothing. It's in sawdust and So this only an hour ago I was driving. I pulled over on the side to stop and grab something to eat, and then all of a sudden I felt a tooth in the bottom of my mouth. And I was like, I hope this is a back tooth.
And I hope this is my tooth.
And I ran my tongue. Yeah, I hope it's my tooth. And I ran my tongue around the back, and I said, oh, no. And then I went to the front, and I'm missing a front tooth. I look like I'm in a hangover. So I have the tooth. Yeah. So hopefully they could just glue it back on.
Yeah. So how did this all happen with the teeth? For the listeners that are so fascinated by this topic.
About 4 years ago, Barry Katz, the manager in show business, said you should think about having your teeth whitened or replaced because I was a cigar smoker. I had nice teeth, but I smoked cigars. So I came into a tiny little bit of money, and I got like a whole new front grill put in the front. They've been fine. And today, one's not fine.
Yeah. How do you do your Barry Katz voice?
What's up, Papa? You should have your teeth whitened.
Or veneers.
And
then I think
it's hard to do with the tooth missing.
Yeah, and
air's blowing out.
Yeah, and don't you say a joke on stage that like they have like the ones in Beverly Hills people can get, but you didn't get yours?
Oh, I got these in Pacoima at a Walmart, $13 a month.
It's kind of believable now
for 900 months.
Right, it's believable now. Give us a big smile with your Walmart. I remember we had a neighbor that. I didn't know that Walmart offers glasses. You can get your eyes examined and get glasses. And there was a swinging bachelor in his 60s that lived in our neighbor. And I told my wife, I go, hey, I didn't know you can get your glasses from Walmart. And she goes, his name is, we'll call him Bob. I go, hey, did you know Bob gets his glasses from Walmart? And my wife goes, yeah. Have you seen the girls he takes on dates?
Zazing, I don't get it.
His eyesight's not very good.
Oh, see, I didn't get that. I thought it was something about low-class women, low-class eyewear.
No, he's like, let's do it again because I want to make
Take two.
This is going to be a viral clip, all right?
Take two.
All right, don't mess it up. Here we go. Maybe I didn't say it right. Let me try it again. By the way, this is the second joke I said tonight that you didn't get. Do you think your mind's preoccupied because of the tooth?
No, I think both jokes just, they didn't hit instantly. If a joke doesn't hit if you have to think about it, the moment's gone. So that's what happened.
Well, damn.
Take two.
I'm bombing on my own podcast.
You're not bombing.
Okay, all right, here we go. I am getting hotter, though.
I just didn't get it.
Dude, I'm getting hotter. You know when you get flop sweat? I'm getting flop sweat with my own buddy here. All right, here we go. Try it again. This is a good exercise. All right, here we go. So one of our neighbors, he gets his glasses from... I fucked up already. Let me try it again. Hey, so one of our neighbors... I'm going to edit all this shit out. One of our neighbors, he gets his glasses from... One of our neighbors, he used to get his glasses from Walmart. And he's a swinging bachelor in his 60s. And I told my wife, I go, hey, did you know Bob? He gets his eyes checked and his eyeglasses from Walmart. And my wife goes, yeah, I can see that. Because have you seen the women he takes on dates?
You mean like the eyewear is not good?
Right. Like
so they're ugly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like he's kind of blind still. He's like, duh, you look good. Duh. Mr. Magoo. I don't know. Let's leave it in. Who cares?
No, it's all good.
Yeah.
Next week I pick up my free eyewear. Once a year I get eyewear on my insurance, and I'm looking forward. I got big, thick, black frames. Nice. I look like a libtard.
Yeah.
You know Hollywood libtard?
Yeah, and you're sitting like one. You're sitting like one.
Sitting like Newsom.
Yeah, that's what what's his name pointed that out. Adam Carolla.
He does whole hour shows about it.
On Bill Maher, about how
deep it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's deep.
Do it again. Be yourself. You got the flag on you, so you keep the audience guessing. We don't know what this guy is. He's got black frame glasses.
I look like a gay guy.
He's got all kinds of. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
That's awesome, man. So you got the kidney, the
3:27.
Yeah.
If everything goes well, I go in at 5 a.m. and I get my son's kidney, and I think I stay in the hospital for another 5 or 6 days. Then we both come home to this house, and for about 2 weeks, my mom and my sister will be from New York to take care of me and Matt.
Wow. Now
then hopefully I can get back to what I'm doing.
Is he in the hospital as long as you are?
No, it's funny. You know what he told me? I never thought of this.
Yeah.
He's having something taken out. Mm-hmm. I'm having something put in. So I'm in the hospital longer than him.
That's what I was going to say. I think that's what would happen.
And I keep my other 2 kidneys. So I'll have 9 toes and 3 kidneys. Fill in your own joke.
Wow. What about kidney stones?
I don't know. I never had them.
How did you know you were having kidney problems? Or did you know?
No, it's a very good question. About 3 years ago, I was just very run down. Really run down. Like I had to take like 4 naps a day.
Wow.
Where if I wasn't home, I just pulled under a shady tree, put my seat back, and in turn was woken up by the LAPD. Excuse me, sir, are you okay? Yeah, they thought like I overdosed or something.
Wow.
And when I worked in the shop, I could work 5 minutes and had to sit down for 20 minutes. Physically, my arms were tired.
Wow.
Went to see a doctor. That doctor sent me to a kidney doctor. And the kidney doctor sent me to a hospital, and they did a biopsy on my kidney. And this gets a little heavy. Do you mind if I tell you?
Yeah, go for it.
The doctor said it's going to take 3 days for the result of the biopsy. And we're going to find out one of 3 things. A, this is caused by AIDS. B, this is caused because the marrow in your bone has cancer. And C, you just have a bad kidney. I waited for 3 days, and when he stepped in the room, I saw the look in his eyes. And I said, this son of a bitch is going to tell me I have AIDS and bone cancer. I could tell in his eyes.
Yeah.
And he said, I got good news and bad news. I said, what? He said, the good news is you just got a bad kidney caused by high blood pressure and diabetes crisscrossed. And the bad news is you have a bad kidney. But I didn't have those other 2 diseases.
Yeah.
And I've been on dialysis for 3 years, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Wow. And if you don't do it, you can get into some big problems.
I got into real big problems in November. I was an hour away from the from meeting my maker. Did you know about that?
Yeah, tell us about that.
I went 5 days. Usually you can go about 3 days without dialysis, 3.5.
Let's turn that off if you don't mind.
It's 3.5, 4 days.
Oh, wait, you got another kidney coming in.
That's funny.
People are donating kidney.
So I stayed 5 days
Yeah.
on a road gig. And sure enough, my O2 got lower and my lungs filled with fluid. So there was no room for when I breathed in or something. And it was the equivalent of being at the very top of Mount Everest without supplemental oxygen. I just literally was like 3 days. I was knocking stuff over. I was tripping.
Wow.
And when I went into I went to the emergency room.
Yeah.
And you know they put that little thing on your finger and you don't care about it. You're like, what does this do?
Yeah, they clamp it down.
The second he clamped it on, he said, "Oh my God." He said, "You have to get to the ICU immediately." My O2 was 60, and that's deadly. They said I was about an hour away from a heart attack or just everything.
Wow.
Yeah. So as soon as I went to they put me right into ICU, and I had oxygen, for a good 48 hours.
Wow.
And I couldn't sleep, and it makes your mouth extremely dry because it's blowing air into the back of your nose. But you can't really drink a lot because they're trying to eliminate water in your body. Yeah. It was a very, very horrific day and a half.
And you've been waiting for this kidney transplant, so hopefully this will be behind you. That kind of health stuff.
I hope so. Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's great, man. It's great that you guys matched. It's great to give you a date. You know, I saw you guys started the GoFundMe.
Yeah, the GoFundMe. People are catching on.
Yeah,
people are donating. People I haven't heard or seen from in years. It's a very nice.
If you guys check out his Instagram, and you'll see the link if you want to, see what he's going on and stuff.
Yeah, because we'll both be out of work for about probably about 7 or 8 or 9 weeks, and then when we go back to work, I don't know how much I could do. You know what I mean? It's pretty physical to be a woodworker.
For sure. It's beautiful what you guys do, man.
And yesterday I delivered a very big table and 2 heavy benches.
Yeah.
And I got the clients to carry everything.
Wow.
I just supervised.
Wow.
Yeah. I can't carry anything heavy.
That's right. Okay, by the way, let's talk about this. I just got back from I was going to say Canada. I just got back from Alaska, Anchorage, Alaska, and I want to say, if anybody's watching that was at the show, thank you guys. You guys made a memory for me that night, man. That was an amazing trip. Hard to get to, but once I got there, man, it was awesome. So thank you to the good people of Anchorage, Alaska. Dude, I went from Burbank to Denver to Anchorage a day early, did the show, and the next day, Anchorage to Denver to Burbank. And it was like 6 hours to get to Denver, a 3-hour layover.
99.
Denver.
I've been to Alaska 5 times.
My goodness, yeah.
And I flew every time I flew to Seattle.
Right.
And then you did the switch.
Yeah. I think it was the times just didn't add up. It was like the wrong times, or you'd be in LAX traffic and then landing the day of the show. So we had this is the only thing we could really do. And it's interesting, like like you said, you compare, a little bit, like you count your blessings, like you said, as much as you're going through, you look at another person and you're like, well, at least, you told me about one of your buddies before the podcast. I'm like, so
yeah,
I thought,
life keeps coming at you. There's
a
lot of bad luck.
And you got to count your, what is good about it. In fact, you were the first person I told my schedule. And you were like, big deal, it's fun, like edit videos. You're right, and that's what I did. I because I don't fly that airline that often. It's like, because I usually fly Southwest, where I'm like, the A-list, and I get my whatever. It's just the best if you fly. Here's my advice, guys: if you're gonna fly a lot, stick with one airline. That way you can start.
Yeah, I was
moving
told
your
that
way
like
up
20 years ago,
and get your perks, because
and you get used to certain things.
Yeah, like United.
I flew back.
Yeah.
I had a TV show that shot
right
in Burbank. Simultaneously, I had a woodworking show that shot in New York City. And I flew back and forth for about 9 months.
Wow.
And I did JetBlue, and I had seat 1A, so I was the first on, first off. The people at each counter.
Yeah. They got to know you after a while.
3,000 miles apart knew me. Yeah,
That's
so it was all
cool.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I was. I just said, what? I'll just sleep. And when I wasn't sleeping, I was working on my videos. I was playing chess on my phone. I downloaded a new book that I love. I love this book, man. I'm a big country music fan, and I love this book. It's about the life of Merle Haggard, and it's really good so far, man. And
yeah, I could dig Merle Haggard.
These guys were born, like, they talk about him and some of the people he looked up to, like, Lefty Frizzell and Buck Owens. He used to, he's from the Bakersfield area.
Right,
I don't know if he looked up to Buck, but he looked up to Lefty Frizzell, and just his lifestyle. He had that one song, Merle Haggard. I was 21 in prison, doing life without parole. Mama tried, mama tried to remember. That song.
But her pleading I denied.
Yeah, exactly. So they're talking about his life, dude. Like, this kid was like, when he was 13 and 14, he was running away and jumping on the trains and trying to go to Vegas with his buddies and hot wiring cars, and then putting in, reform school, and then you'd be there for 15 months, and the judge, he was 14 or maybe 16, I believe. He gets out and he goes back to Oildale, Bakersfield area, and finds out his best friend who joined the Marines, but he was too young, so he got kicked out of the Marines. And apparently his best friend moved to Modesto and was working on a farm. So Merle jumps on a train car, goes up there to Modesto, and works for 2 months, getting paid $1.50 an hour. No, $1.50 a day, I think. Whoa. It was. Yeah, it was. I don't know. Don't quote me on that.
No, I made it.
It was not very good. Let's put it that way.
I made $1.75 an hour in 1980.
No, so he was making it was $1.50 a day. That's what it was. And they were baling hay from sunup till about 11 at night. But then what they would do to pass the time is they were singing these songs, Hank Williams and,
wow.
And the other guy, what's the guy's name that did all the train songs back in the
Johnny Cash?
No, he was born in he was really big in the 20s and 30s. He had the TB Blues. Johnny Rogers, Jimmy Rogers.
Oh yeah.
And anyway,
he's got one very famous song.
Right, and they would do all these songs. And then the farmer guy goes, "Man, you guys should go down to the fun center tonight and go check out. They do live music."
And that's how they all got started.
A little bit, yeah. It goes more and more. But they went to the pawn shop or whatever and got their little guitars and the cheapest guitars they could find. And they went down there and then eventually the bar owner, because I imagine it was almost like karaoke, like people could take turns like performing.
Yeah.
Except it was, and the bar owner says, "Hey, you guys going to play those things or just wear them around your neck all night?" So they went up and they did some music, and they actually, remember, they only made $1.50 a day. Well, that night he made $5.
Wow.
And all the food and drinks you could get and blah, blah, blah. And then they, more happened to that story. But my point is, I was thinking about this. From jumping on trains to hot wiring cars to, all this kind of weird stuff. Like, I feel like guys were more manly back then.
100%.
Not that hot wiring a car makes you manly, but just the idea of because you just have left. Like nowadays, you could get excitement by being on a phone or scrolling or something. But back then, his imagination, he would hear these songs about trains and be like, "I'm going to jump on a train.
He's going to ride the rails."
Yeah, and hitchhike
like a hobo.
Right, like they did that. Him and his buddy, they wanted to go to Lefty Frizzell's hometown in Texas, so they hitchhiked and took train all the way out to Texas from Bakersfield at 14.
They rode the rails.
They rode the rails. They rode
like
the
hobos.
rails. Yeah, they said they would get bounced around like ping pong balls inside those things and get tired of it.
And you get run over by a train. A lot of people get run over by a train.
Right. My wife was telling me they had a guy that worked on their farm back in the day that had one leg because he fell asleep drunk, I guess, and a train ran over his leg.
When I was a cop in the homeless outreach unit in the New York City Transit Police, anytime a homeless client or a bum got run over by a train, we got called to see if we knew who he was, because they have no ID. If we knew a nickname or, something. So I saw quite a few people run over by a train.
Wow.
Yeah. Papa Son No Come Home. Chop suey.
Damn. I remember that's an inside joke.
So
anyways, they get to Texas. They find out Lefty Frizzell. They find out that he wasn't there anymore at that hometown.
Right.
So then his buddy, he had an uncle that lived nearby, and they went to 20 miles, and then he gave him some. Here's what I'm saying by the tough thing. Like, he goes, "Boys, don't just go straight back to Bakersfield." He gave him enough money. He goes, "Take the bus. Don't hitchhike. Don't jump on the rails. And here's a tube of bologna." So he gave him a tube of bologna, loaf of bread, and enough money. And of course, these guys still wanted to take adventures. So, the one guy took the money and he bought a pistol with it.
Oh, God.
Merle Haggard took some of the money and bought a new pair of boots, put a little knife in the boot. They're hopping the train. They got back between the train and hitchhiking. Somebody dropped them off in L.A. at Lincoln Heights. And they're tired, and they're just, all they need now is just a ride to Bakersfield. They fall asleep somehow. They're somewhere, and they wake up, and there's like 4 cops. They're lights, and they roughed them up and arrested them because a liquor store had been robbed, like in that area. And they said one of them was tall and had a gun. And of course, when they pat them down, they found the gun. They found a gun on the young kid, his friend. Turns out they didn't do it, and then they got released. And they said the cops didn't even apologize or say sorry for that. They just they released them and took their gun, their knife, and all their money.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Corrupt cops.
But I think also from the stories that I'm hearing, like from the different correction officers, when he got put in like those what do they call it? Like when you're a youth and you go to like
juvie hall.
Yeah, juvenile hall, or like those schools, like whatever. They were very tough on these kids, but it was almost like maybe it didn't change their mind about being bad kids. It was like they were extra tough on these kids.
Yeah.
I guess, making them run and do push-ups.
I think back in the day, cops,
you could hit them with rakes and stuff.
Wasn't it back in the day the cop would kind of set the kid straight?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like almost part of his job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess. I mean, they said they would get hit with closed fists and stuff, like at that jail or whatever. But
yeah, can't we all just get along?
Yeah, I've never. I was asking if you ever wanted to jump on a train or any of that stuff.
I don't know if you know this. We grew up with the Long Island Railroad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We grew up with the Long Island Railroad. It was 100 feet from my mom's house. You hopped on the Long Island Railroad to go into New York City. And if you took an express, you went from Long Island and you were in Midtown Manhattan in 25 minutes. You know what I mean? And it was a fun ride. It
sounds fun.
It wasn't like a subway car. It was comfort. Yeah. And when you were 15 years old, instead of paying, you just hopped on the train. And if you saw the guy coming to collect the ticket, you hopped off. Then you got on the next train. You know what I mean? Now it's an hour and a half ride, but you didn't pay.
Yeah.
And the Long Island Railroad always runs. It doesn't, granted, from midnight to 5 in the morning, there's not a lot, but you can always get. So I liked hanging around trains. Then I became a New York City subway cop and got sick of trains.
For some reason, when I did this tour back in the early 90s, and rather than flying back to California, the tour manager, I don't know why I did this. Maybe I thought it was going to be cheaper. He told me I should take a train. So I ended up taking a train from St. Louis to L.A.
How long did that take?
You know what? I want to say 2 or 3 days. Probably 3 days.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, you could call the number for Amtrak. I believe it was like 1-800-USA-RAIL. And you could get a price, tell them what you wanted, and I did it. And I remember just taking it's funny, looking back, I'm glad I did it. But it's crazy. Like, normally you would fly and that's what I'm saying, you'd be home in
5 hours.
5 hours. It might even be a long day of travel, but it's not compared to a train. But it was nice just kind of leaning against the window and hearing the and then different. I remember there was like I was, at that time I was 22. So I was about 22 years old. And I remember like this pretty girl sat next to me. And we just, I remember we dropped her off in Albuquerque. And at the time I remember reading this play because I used to read a lot and like these, getting ready for LA or whatever, like movies and, all that kind of stuff. So I was like, I should probably start reading scripts. So I was reading When Harry Met Sally. And it was kind of fun. Like I remember I would read Harry's part. She'd read Sally's part.
Oh, that's fun.
And we would just, reading it. We're both two young
Billy
people.
Crystal.
Yeah.
Katz's Deli.
Right.
I'll have what she's having.
Yeah, we didn't do any of those scenes, but it was cool. And that was the first time I ever heard a conspiracy theory. That she goes, have you ever noticed that I don't want to get in trouble, so I'll just say the meat at a certain fast food restaurant, she goes, it doesn't smell like when you make tacos at home. It smells different. Have you noticed that? And she goes, that's because they don't use beef, they use kangaroo.
Oh goodness!
I know, and now where would they use kangaroo meat? That's probably even more rare. But it is interesting. They do use filler though, right? Don't they use filler?
There's got to be all kinds of chemicals. It's all kind of
coming out, right? Like with the health department, that you need to get back to like whole foods and real foods.
I
and
had
not just
a hamburger
processed.
tonight from Carl's Jr. And when I bit into it, I just was like, all right, I'm. At least it tastes remotely like a hamburger because there's so many weird shit that goes in there.
And this and that.
And I took I flew to Shreveport, did 4 nights of stand-up, and I had no way home. And instead of catching a flight, they said, if you don't leave in the next hour, even if you catch a flight at 6 a.m., Hurricane Gustav is on its way, and you might be stuck. I told you the story. So I took a Greyhound. From Louisiana to North Hollywood, California. Wow. Yeah, that was rough.
That's a country song waiting to happen.
Yeah, and a lot of vermin gets on. A lot of vermin.
I know. My buddy, I used to go to El Paso. I'd fly to El Paso. My buddy would feature for me, and he'd take a Greyhound bus from North Hollywood to El Paso. And he's saying, like, one time this guy was acting all crazy, and he goes, and I woke up and my hand was asleep, and I was like, man, if I got to punch this guy, I better wake my. He goes, so I was like shaking my hand in case I had to punch this guy.
Who was it?
Toogie Jackson. Shout out to Toogie.
I'm not sure if I know.
Great guy, man. Great guy, and very funny.
And how long a ride is that from? It's got to be 15, 20 hours.
Probably something like that. So that's what I'm saying. Like I compared flying, all the layovers and this and that, like at least I'm not working in a coal mine. It's like, okay, we're flying, it's not that bad. And,
I can't even look at coal mine videos on Instagram. They're so claustrophobic.
Yeah.
I don't know how anyone could do that.
I know. Dude, my arm
But I
hurts.
worked in the subway of New York.
Yeah,
so.
my arm hurts just a little bit from sitting in the airplane like this on a full flight, and you're just like this for, 6 hours here, 4 hours there, 3 hours. You're just like, I don't know if I slept wrong or whatever, but like, wow, like it's, but the shows were amazing, and Alaska was cool. Dude, at first I was like, I could handle this. It was 20 degrees, and I'm like, all right, I got my layers on. It's not too bad. Got the gloves. Didn't really need the gloves. I'm like, as long, because you're just going from building to car to building, maybe walking down the block. But then we went and got dinner. And by the way, the best meals are so good. Everything was fantastic. It was so good, dude. It was like seafood chowder and it was amazing. The pizza,
nice.
the I got like a salmon BLT. It was great, dude. It was so good. Anyways, they come out from dinner. The sun started to go down. And it dropped from 20 degrees to 4 degrees.
Oh.
And the wind kicked in. So it was very windy. The snow was coming off. Snow was blowing off the buildings. And you're just like freezing, man. That was when it was like overwhelming. And I saw homeless people there. There was actually some homeless people. And you know how you see homeless people here like pushing shopping carts?
Right.
I saw a lady pulling a sled.
Oh.
With like different bags of...
With everything she owned.
Yeah. It's like, that was pretty crazy.
That was Mrs. Claus.
Hey, I met some cool people. The next time I go back, man, I'm going to take them up on some stuff. They maybe we can go together.
I'll go.
I met a couple. Shout out to the couple. See if I still remember their name. James and Becky. And Becky works on a wildlife reserve, and she was telling me that you could go there and like see the bears and like, because they're on like I don't know how many acres, like 20 acres or whatever. So they're not in a cage like at the zoo. They're actually out there in the wild. But then somehow you could feed them, and they're trained. You're like, show me your palms, and they show their palms, and then
I'm okay.
And then the other guy, James, her husband, he works on. He's a train conductor.
Oh wow!
So he's like,
he's
like,
through the backwoods of Alaska.
Yeah. Like going over like rickety bridges, I would imagine. Snow and just middle of nowhere. And sometimes the trains break down at 3 a.m. and he's got to get off the train and get out there where it's all quiet, and you don't want to get attacked by something. So apparently, like, you got to make a lot of noise. And he says he has a little, like a speaker, and you blast the speaker like with music or whatever. Lots of flash. So it sounds like there's people and stuff, and he's clanging and banging and trying not to, apparently they like, I think he said that he has hit moose before, because moose will be there.
Oh God.
And also he's come close. They come close to like joggers, because apparently I just found this out when people have the headphones in. Also, he said it's weird when you're going to crash into something. It's like seeing it in slow motion, because it takes you 1.5 miles to stop the train.
Oh,
so you see it, and it's just like, and you're trying to stop it. It's right ahead of you, and so frightening that would be. And he said what happens is the people have the headphones on. They think they're going to hear a train, so they're running on the tracks like an idiot. But what they don't realize is the noise is behind the train. So when you're waiting for a train and it's going in front of you, it's making all that noise. That's because it's already past you, and you're hearing clang, clang, clang. But in front of you, it's quiet. It's like, it's almost like an electric car, how it's quiet.
Yeah.
The way the sound travels. But they do have those horns like.
I did a gig in North Pole, Alaska, and it was in a bar. So it wasn't a comedy club. It was in commonly known a meth bar. Like a real kind of dirtbag. And this is a true story. A heckle. It was a tile floor, the stage, so it's a hard tile floor, and someone threw a live bullet at me.
Whoa!
And it clanked off like if it hit the wrong.
Really?
You know what I mean? You never know if it hit the hard tile floor, and
it could go off.
Throw a big bullet at me. I picked it up and did a joke about it.
Wow!
And then afterwards, a guy walked up to me and said, this is in North Pole, Alaska, in a meth bar. Guy walks up to me and says, I'm in a movie with you. I said, what movie? He goes, I'm in the movie 15 Minutes with Robert De Niro and John Diresta. I said, what part? He said, De Niro's funeral, when Ed Burns cries.
Wow.
And he was an extra. So I never put him together with an actual person, but he knew the exact scene.
That's interesting. Yeah. That's interesting you said about weapons. I did see a lot of weapons up there. Like, we went into some different like stores and stuff, like this I don't know what they're called, like like antique malls or whatever. And right when you walk in, you're seeing like a collection of knives, and then we went in the back and there's all these rifles and guns. And
wow!
Like, so I feel like, yeah, that's very common up there. And like the guy said, he goes, I got my side piece on me when I'm out there working on the trains, and hey, I got something for you. I want to get your real reaction. I wanted to get you a T-shirt from Alaska.
No, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So,
drum roll.
And it's funny. I go, what size do you want? And you said a large, or a small, extra large.
Drum roll.
Like, let me preface it with this. I'd see like some cool designs, but then those were on the back of the shirts. And then you look at the front, and it'd be like some little circle, and I'm like, that's not impressive. That looks like an employee shirt.
Right.
So this shirt,
like I sell reindeer sausage at the swap meet.
Exactly. So this shirt is it actually made me laugh, and I said, you know what, that's funny. It made me laugh. I gotta give him this T-shirt. So here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
Real reaction. Here we go. First, I'm going to show the camera, and then I'm going to show you.
Okay.
Okay? All right, here we go.
Am I being punked?
I think, hopefully it's not backwards. It might be backwards for you guys. I don't know if the writing is backwards or not, but here we go. There's your shirt. Take a look at it.
All right, here we go. Look at this.
Here we go. Describe what you're seeing.
Let's see. Alaska is 2.3 times bigger than Texas. Size matters.
Yeah, so you're seeing the state of Alaska.
Sit inside Alaska.
And then inside of Alaska is a state of Texas. So you're seeing just how huge Alaska is.
Okay, now watch this. Here's a fact that nobody knows that you don't even know.
Yeah?
Alaska combined is as big as 23 U.S. states.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know if they count Texas as one of them.
Wow.
But I would assume it's the 23 smallest states.
Yeah. So anyways, that made me laugh because the whole size matters, this and that. It's like a dick joke,
I get it.
We're two comedians. So
I get it.
I don't think there's anything on the back, but
thank you. Let me see how big it is.
Yeah. Let's see. Think it'll work? I think it'll work.
Oh, yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now I know it's
very nice of you.
Yeah. It wasn't like, it wasn't like moose or, whatever, but I thought it's a dick joke. It's funny. It's Alaska.
You want to hear something funny about Alaska that no one would ever tell you? I rented a shop from a guy named Nort. And Nort Geller was a real Walter Mitty.
Yeah.
Okay? He was in the Army. He was such a good football player at North Hollywood High. The LA Rams came to see him.
Wow.
Okay, that's in high school.
Wow.
Then he joined. He used to take out his airplane drunk. He used to drunk drive an airplane. Ooh. So this guy's been around.
Yeah.
And he was in Alaska, in the Air Force, at a movie theater, drunk out of his mind, when it came over. Ladies and gentlemen, Alaska just became a U.S. state.
Wow.
And everyone in the movie theater clapped.
Wow.
So it's just a little funny story. And another night when he was in Alaska, he was drunk out of his mind.
Yeah.
And he was walking with his head down, trying not to fall. And all of a sudden, he saw two humongous furry feet. Huge. And he was expected to get swiped in the head with like 8-inch bear claws. He just said, this is it.
Yeah.
And he was so drunk, he looked up and it was carved out of wood.
Do you know what state that Alaska is? What number it is?
It's got to be 49 or 50.
49.
Yeah, and then Hawaii?
Yeah, 50.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was the place I performed at was called the 49th State Brewery.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was the 49th state. You know what I tripped out on? A couple of weeks ago, I performed in Arizona. And Arizona is the 48th state.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and what was crazy about that, hold on, let me just make sure I'm accurate, this is weird. This is some weird, like I did not realize this. Hold on. When did Arizona become a state? Check this out. February 14th, 1912.
Wow.
Which is weird because California became a state in like 1850 or something like that.
Oh, wow.
And same thing with Oregon, the 1850s. And
wow.
Then you would think they would just do it all at once. But no, they were like a holdout and, it didn't become a state till 1912.
So in 1911, what were they?
I don't know, Mexico maybe or something. Were they just like out there? I don't know. I don't know.
They were their own thing.
Yeah,
I like going to Alaska. I look forward to it. I did it 5 times.
Yeah.
I've been to Juneau, Anchorage, Fairbanks, North Pole, Wasilla, Anchorage. I stayed in a watch this. I stayed in a haunted hotel. It was known to be haunted in Anchorage. So I looked it up. Right, I have an extra time in the hotel room, and it's haunted because a police chief, 80 years before this, a police chief shot and killed his mistress.
Wow.
In the lobby.
Wow.
So I think then somehow he killed himself. So the hotel is haunted with the ghost of this, and everyone knows his name in the town. So when I used it in my sketch, they couldn't believe that I did my homework. So I said, look, my opening joke for the 4 nights was, hey, everybody, I want to thank you having me. Obviously, I'm from New York. I live in L.A., but to come up to Alaska, it's really nice. And they put me at the Anchorage Hotel, the haunted hotel, and everybody is with me. And I said, it was haunted. It really is. I could prove it. I said, I don't want to get too serious, but last night, in the middle of the night, Chief Broham's ghost came into my room, and he touched me in a bad place. Wasilla. And that's the local town that's like a white trash town.
Yeah.
And, dude, it was like boink, 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 Wasilla. And I got touched in a bad place by the ghost. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
the joke has lots of levels.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good, man. I noticed at the airport, I had something happen, and it's funny. I just want to, I had something backfire. I was trying to be nice.
Right.
We're going through TSA. There's a couple in their 50s. Looked like their mom was with them in their 70s, the 3 of them. And the TSA agent goes, new lane is open right this way. And they didn't move.
Right.
Because they didn't hear it. And he said it again. He goes, hello, new lane open. Still didn't move. I didn't, and so I go, hey, the lane just opened. And then the guy turned to me and he goes, we heard. Yeah, it was so weird. And I reflectively just went, good. And I realized that sounds kind of like I'm being, you know what I mean? So I went, good morning, like that. It was weird how he gave me attitude for being nice. And I'm like, what the hell, And so we went through TSA, TSA pre-check. So you don't have to take anything off. You just put your backpack on or whatever. And then it's funny, dude. I heard his wife kind of like, she's like, what was that all about? He was just trying to be nice. He was just trying to help. He was just trying to be nice.
Yeah.
And I don't know what he said because he said something. And then she tells him, she goes, she goes, knock it off to him. So I didn't have to,
That's why I don't travel with anybody.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, exactly.
I
right.
hate traveling with people.
Yeah, and it was funny. I was by myself.
I
So
traveled with my 2 daughters. Only about 3.
But can I finish this story?
Go ahead. Go.
I was just thinking to myself, like I just stayed away from them. I wasn't like, I didn't look at him and be like, or nothing.
Right.
Knock it off, Ralph. Because I also thought, what if we're all going to go to the same gate and then fly on the same plane? And what if I'm sitting next to this family? Yeah, bad vibes. I was just like, and I thought to myself, like, the way he said that, it kind of pissed me off. And I thought, but I don't need bad vibes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I was just trying to be nice and help people out. And
I traveled with my 2 daughters about 3 months ago at JFK Airport. And every 5 minutes, it was, Dad, you don't do that. Dad, you don't do that. Yeah. Dad, you don't, just give me a break. I've been through 1,000 airports.
Right.
And it reminds me of a story. I don't know why. I used to work with a cop named Joel Greenblatt. And him and a couple other cops would get 7 or 8 phone numbers per shift from women. Okay? Because they call the uniform the Blue Magnet. Because you have benefits and, you know what I mean? You have a steady job. And he would always lay the schmooze on everybody. So one night, we're going off duty, but we're in uniform. We're going back to sign out. And we're in a very crowded train. So we're doing this, like looking down at a pretty white girl with sunglasses on.
Yeah.
And, we're so close to her. So Joel lays it on her. So you go, work? You go work or you going home? And she had sunglasses on, and she just looked up. And he goes, you're very pretty. And she just looked, and he goes, do you speak English? And she goes, I speak perfect English. I don't want to talk to you.
Wow.
It was really funny.
Wow.
He was putting his he was putting it on her.
She wasn't feeling it at all.
She wasn't feeling it at all.
And then
we heard you.
And you all witnessed that.
We heard you.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's funny.
I was just like, okay, but anyways, thanks, guys. I think we're going to wrap up the podcast and do a live. We'll go live on Instagram and live on YouTube. And if you're listening to this podcast, go ahead and watch it. If you want to check it out, it's on YouTube. And hopefully by the time you hear this, you can see it on my channel, Darren Carter, on YouTube. And thank you for all the subs and all the follows.
And if you happen to want to give to my GoFundMe, go to my Instagram, and there's a little button you can click right on the, the bio page. Thank you.
Yes. And I was thinking about this. I've been saying this in my show lately. A doctor will heal your bones, and the dentist, right, will fix your teeth, and a therapist will heal your mind. But laughter is good for your soul. It'll heal your soul. And thanks for spending part of your day with us.
You should try and be funny.
And so I can start healing. I make sure I don't say that if I ever bomb, because that'd be you have a terrible show. And laughter will heal your soul. And the guy
Not tonight.
A guy exactly. A guy. I still hurt. I still need a kidney. Ha ha. This laughter ain't working, pal. But it is good. It is good to go through life like with that optimism, and I even though sometimes I do get a little negative, because you can't help it. Sometimes you got to fight it off and go with the laughter.
I used to be the most negative guy
Dude, it's
on earth.
Not good. Yeah,
I heard years later that my stand-up act was called 12 Angry Minutes.
Oh gosh, really?
Yep. And 12 years as a New York City cop. And nobody wanted to be my partner. I thought you want to hang out with me because I'm funny and jovial and I'm witty. Yeah. And I say funny things.
Right.
And people were like, oh, that dude, all he does is complain.
It's hard because sometimes that's where our comedy comes from. You complain a little bit and then you make it funny. But maybe they're just seeing the complaining part.
No, I even said to some people, I go, look, if I liked this job, it wouldn't be funny.
But dude, laughter helps, man. I remember one time we landed really hard. It was a turbulent flight, and then when the plane landed, boom! It was like people were like white knuckling it, and then I'm always happy once the plane lands. I'm like, okay, we're on the ground now. But we landed, boom! And then some people were asleep, or something, because when it landed, they were Everyone went like that, right? Like a lot of people went like that. And then the flight attendant guy comes on the microphone. He goes, "That was not the captain's fault." And they laughed a little bit. And then he goes, "That was the asphalt." Huge laugh, dude.
Okay, he's done that before.
Dude, it was. See, you're being negative. See, that was
no. It's a good joke,
dude. It was great. It was like a balloon got popped. Everyone went from like tense, and he went from the pilot's fault to the asphalt to and everyone's looking around. And dude, they need shtick, dude. You need it, like in the world.
Southwest's funniest flight attendant.
He was funny. I gave him props, man. It lightened the mood. And speaking of lightening the mood,
I had a flight attendant once say to me, I'm standing near the bathroom, she's standing back there, and she took a long pause, and she goes, "You the king of Queens?" She thought I was king of Queens. That's it. That's the funny part.
That's the funny part. That's good, man. You healed through laughter. You just healed me with your mistaken identity. Oh, here's that question. I don't know where this came from. I just thought of this. When you do get recognized, where's the weirdest place that you've ever been recognized, or some kind of weird recognition story?
Being in Alaska in a meth bar, right? You know, hey, we're in the same movie.
Yeah. That was That's interesting. Yeah.
I think I said this last week, and I stepped off a elevator in Austin, and someone said, "That was Emeril Lagasse."
Well, that's mistaken identity. But how about when they actually recognized you?
I think the weirdest one, and the one I like the most is I was on a show called American Body Shop on Comedy Central, and I played Brooklyn Johnny. And in my whole life, Nick Offerman was in the show. He's the famous guy. But in my whole life, only one person has walked up to me and said, "You're Brooklyn Johnny." And it was Jeff Peterson, and we've been best friends ever since.
Cool.
Yeah. So he's the only person I ever recommend as that.
When I was in Be Cool and I had those scenes with John Travolta, I remember the movie. I remember I did a show on Wednesday, and I think the movie had been out for, I don't know, not that long, like 4 days, 5 days. And I went to a show on a Wednesday in Hollywood, and this lady and her friend recognized me, and I thought, damn, here we go. I thought it was just going to be like being recognized all the way, but it did not work out like that.
Dude, watch this. Yeah. I could top it. I'm in Miss Congeniality with a big role. I'm not an extra. Yeah. And I'm getting ready to do the Tonight Show, and I'm the third funny guy in the movie. I'm getting ready and for interviews, and nobody cared. Nobody, not one person. Then I did a movie with Robert De Niro where I'm funny and I have a lot of lines. I'm not an extra, and I'm like, all right, I'm getting ready. I'm the funny, I'm the third guy. I'm the new Tom Arnold, and nobody cared. Nobody. Wow. No one interviewed me. No one called me.
Really?
Yeah. And then I did a set on late night TV, the show that was on after Letterman, Craig Kilborn.
Mm-hmm.
I did a set thinking it's going to be, I did a set on TV. I got 2 phone calls the next day.
Cool.
One from my mother, one from my father.
Really?
They both fell asleep before I came on.
Wow.
Yeah, for real.
Wow.
It's a tough business.
Dude, once you said you're negative, I'm just picturing everything. It's like, yeah. But why wouldn't you be? I mean, you do national television, you get 2 phone calls from your parents, and they both said they fell asleep.
Yeah, that's a true story.
Wow. And then sadly, I believe it.
And I thought it was going to make... And then watch this. I'll tell you another one about being recognized. This is the best one.
Yeah.
I did a thing with Barry Katz called... the next group of R-rated famous comedians.
Yeah.
Up-and-coming blue comedians.
You have a look now, by the way. I'm just trying to think. I'm starting to story chop, but because I get recognized a lot, or at least I used to. But I think it's because I had the red hair. It's like, hey, white boy, red hair. I was on BET, so I stood out. I don't know if I'm still going to get recognized because with the shaved hair, but I'm trying everything, bro. I got the flashlight going. I got the bolos happening. So maybe.
Well, I get two stories. I get recognized as my brother Jimmy more often than me.
Yeah.
About once a month, someone says, "I can't believe it's you. I thought you lived upstate New York." I let him get it all out.
You have a look now, though. You know, so.
But now I look a little different than Jimmy. But this is a true story. So I do National Lampoons. Right? Come on, National Lampoon.
Yeah.
They made Animal House. They made the magazine.
Right.
They made the...
Family Vacation.
So,
all those vacation
National
movies.
Lampoon's young R-rated comedians. Frank Caliendo is the host.
Frank Caliendo, I love him.
And about 6 or 7 of us. I think what's his name might have even been on it. He's a very famous comedian. Short. Does all the Capital One commercials. I can't think of his name. So I do that thinking I'm doing something with National Lampoon, finally.
Yeah, finally, yeah.
It gets put out. I hear nothing. Nothing. 5 years later, I'm coming out of Harper's on Tampa, comedy night, every Monday night, with Sabrina Solari. If you remember her, she used to hang out with Sam Kinison. I come out of the parking lot, and there's a Chinese guy putting something in his trunk. And he looked at me and goes, "I know you." I said, "You do?" He goes, "Are you a comedian from a National Lampoon? R-rated. It's up and coming."
Dude, that's awesome.
I go, "You watched it?" "No, I edited it."
Oh, no.
Yeah, for real, dude.
Wow.
He had to watch it.
Wow. Hey, by the way, I just realized, before when you were heavy, people recognize that character, but then so you don't look like how 20 years ago. But now you have a look. You got the tattoos, the wings have come in with the hair, and I just realized maybe the Lord just gave you a gift. Maybe you could keep the missing tooth
because I look like a tough guy.
Yeah, maybe put a gold tooth in there. You know what I mean? People are doing that nowadays.
Oh, now we're on to something,
dude. When I was in Arizona, this guy,
we're on to something.
He had a gold tooth right there, and it looked pretty badass.
Now we're on to something.
You know what I mean?
I like it.
I don't know.
I like it.
It's interesting. It's a look, dude. It's a look.
I like it.
Anyway, something to think of.
Yeah. There was one other... Oh, this is a true story. No Hollywood writer could write this. My local lumberyard... I go to my lumberyard 5-10 times a day, right? I'm a woodworker. And there's an old guy, Edgar, old Mexican guy. I'm friends with him for 20 years. And he likes me a lot. So only a few months ago, he says, Diresta... a movie come on last night, Miss Congeniality, and your name is in the beginning, dog, before the title. And I said to my wife, "That's my friend. He's John Diresta. He's a friend, a New York comedian. He's from New Jersey."
Long Island, New York.
He goes, then we watched a 2-hour movie.
Oh,
you're not in it. He didn't even recognize me or my New York accent.
Yeah.
That's how fat I was.
Wow.
I had more chins than the Chinese phone book. Pound it, hack. Don't worry.
Be hacky.
Here's a little joke I wrote. You might like to hear it. It's about my throat. Don't worry. Be hacky. Your girlfriend says her period's late. Next time you better masturbate. Don't worry. Be hacky. Missing tooth. All right,
buddy. Thank you so much. Pound it. You guys are awesome. Thanks for spending part of your day with us. And tell a friend about the Pocket Party podcast. We'll see you on the next one.
Thank you.
Later.
Everybody listen to Darren Carter. We all know he's the party starter. So if you want to listen to a podcast for free, then listen to the Pocket Party.